Trump has taken a break from trying to convince you that windmills are going to give you cancer or something to fear-mongering about the future of donuts. Take a look.
Almost everything involves energy. If you make donuts, if you make anything you make has to do. And when they ended our energy, we were energy independent. Think of this. We were energy independent. We were soon going to be energy dominant. We would have been bigger than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Inflation started with energy. It's not that complicated. When you have a donut shop or a food shop or a dress shop, you need heat, you need whatever, you need everything, you need trucks to deliver your product. Energy is so big, so important. We didn't have inflation. We knew how to take care of inflation. You know, look, inflation was caused because they stopped drilling, they stopped the energy, and that caused the inflation. Energy is so big. If you make donuts, if you make cake, if you're a lawyer, if you're an accountant, you're heating and you're trucking, and no matter what you do, energy is so big.
Okay, first of all, we had inflation during the Trump years. There's always been inflation. It's so ridiculous. But you need examples when you're talking about your policies or just talking about ideologically your opposition to Joe Biden's agenda or something. I get that. Where did the donut stuff come from? Is that like, no offense to donut shops. It's part of the economy. I love Dunkin' or whatever, Krispy Kreme, but it seems weird that he keeps going back to that. That said, the donut stuff, I think, is a bit of a distraction from what you should truly be concerned about in those statements. And I will break that down in a second. But Francesca, first, what do you make of his new defense of the donut?
I mean, clearly he's just been hungry. Like he's on some new diet and is like, what I can't have is a donut. So like, that's just, when you can't have or eat something, it just comes to mind. That's all that's happening. He was sitting there, like energy, which is needed for producing donuts or cakes or gluten, because I am intolerant now, but I can't say that because it sounds, like one of the letters on the LGBTQ plus acronym. And so why? You can't think of anything else that energy is needed for? Just industry generally. Look at anything in the room, you idiot. But I do have thoughts on what he should actually be concerned about. Maybe you're going there, so I don't want to preempt it. But yeah, very strange.
And I'm just gonna quickly throw out, what took me way too long into life to realize, and again, apologies to Krispy Kreme and donuts. Donuts aren't worth it. They're not. Like if you're gonna eat something that's unhealthy, no, they're not that great.
Hard disagree.
They're not good enough. Get something better. Get yourself some ice cream. It's available. And you know what? To make ice cream takes energy.
Hard disagree on that. Okay. I don't know if I can continue to be on the show, but please.
Here's the thing. The substance of what he's talking about is energy and energy independence. And supposedly now we're not. From what? What has Biden done that has stopped us from being energy independent? It's nonsense. He just throws it out there. There's no evidence. But the other thing is his attacks against Joe Biden rely on the fact that Joe Biden is too old, too mentally incompetent to do this thing. But I want to take a look at the glass house that is throwing stones, because here are the quotes you just heard. When you have a donut shop or a food shop or a dress shop, you need heat, you need whatever, you need everything, you need trucks to deliver your product. Energy is so big, so important. If you make donuts, anything you make has to do, and when they ended our energy, we were energy independent. Think of this. So big. It's like all encompassing. Everything. You make donuts in the oven and the trucks that deliver them. No matter what you do, it's so much about energy. Has his brain been replaced with Boston cream?
His brain is leaking out of his skull, people. You guys, we need to call off this election. I don't care about any of the lawsuits. Please, somebody, stop this man. Clearly, all that's happening in his brain when he thinks of industry is one of those old-timey 30s cartoons where the very first Mickey Mouse is making a bunch of donuts, the dun dun Like he's regressing. What the hell is happening? Why do we have the oldest man running for president?
Yeah, I understand. Some people are going to say, no, John, man, you just been out for 3 months. You don't remember.
No.
Trump was always like, yes, no, Trump was always like that. But that is particularly bad. This isn't like he has these tics. Like when he wants to prove something, he just says it's like no one's ever seen because I can't provide any more detail. This isn't him falling back on tics. This is him stumbling to make a vague dumb point. He can't even do that anymore. Anyway, there's no evidence to support the claim that making donuts requires any special level of fossil fuel supply. The energy required to make donuts can come from renewable energy too. It's just so stupid. By the way, the idea that the donut industry is going to be destroyed by these new regulations that he's not even citing is not true. The $7 billion American donut industry, my God, is $7 billion, is projected to grow another $3 billion by 2027. Reminder to self to invest in Krispy Kreme. Good Lord. So anyway, it's not true. Like, and it's a reminder that we talked about the Argentinian election in the previous segment. And he's bad on all that stuff having to do with economics as well as like social policy and stuff like that. But he's also fully willing to just fundamentally lie about what's going on. And all of that is gobbled up like a donut by a significant portion of the American electorate. So again, reminder, we're in an election. He very well could win it and it's consequential.
I mean, the last thing I was going to say about this is just like, we should be concerned about chocolate, right? Like donuts, whatever. But like in terms of energy, in terms of actually needing transition away from fossil fuels, in terms of climate change, like chocolate's gonna be at risk, right? Climate change is literally canceling, and I know we're not necessarily talking about that, but climate change is canceling food that we like. If there was a way to package that for the far right, but of course they'll blame trans athletes for the lack of chocolate in the future. But can we understand that everything we enjoy in life, and a lot of that is food, and yeah, chocolate goes in and on donuts, that is at risk if we don't actually change our energy production.
Yeah, 100%. I'll close with this. We had done at one point, we did a roundup of all of the things that climate change is set to basically make either too expensive or impossible. If Michael Bloomberg had tried to ban all of the things we won't be able to have because of climate change, Fox and Friends would literally never talk about anything else. Yes. But when it's a natural consequence of the policies that they are advocating for, suddenly it's not even worthy of conversation.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.